Saram students, welcome back. Let us continue with the revision. Today we will revise Political Science, lesson number 3, what is government? Children, in our previous class, we had revised about levels of government and laws and the government. Today let us revise about types of government and democratic governments. Now let us begin with the revision. Let us revise the first topic, types of government. Children, who gives the government the power to make decisions and enforce laws? This depends on the type of government that is there in the country. Children, there are two types of government, that is democracy and monarchy. So, it depends on the type of government that is there in the country. Now, let us revise the first type of government, that is democracy. Children, in a democracy, it is the people who give the government this power. They do this through elections in which they vote for particular persons and elect them. And once they are elected, these persons, they form the government. And in a democracy, the government has to explain its actions and defend its decisions to the people. This means whatever the government does, it has to be explained to the people, and whatever decisions they take, if the people they feel that it is wrong, then the government has to defend that why it has taken this decision. Children, what is the another form of government? Yes, monarchy. So now let us revise the second type of government, that is monarchy. Children, what is monarchy? Monarchy is the form of government in which the monarch, that is the king or queen, has the power to make decisions and run the government. And the monarch may have a small group of people to discuss matters with, but the final decision making power remains with the monarch. Unlike in a democracy, we saw that in the democracy, the government has to explain and defend its decisions to the people. But here in monarchy, kings and queens, they do not have to explain their actions or defend the decisions they take. That is, whatever decisions or actions they take, they don't have to explain it to the people, as it has to be done in democracy. Now children, let us revise the next topic about democratic governments. Children, India is a democracy. That is, India is a democratic country. And this achievement is the result of a long and eventful struggle of the Indian people. We know that our national leaders, they fought for the freedom of our country. But children, do you know there are other places in the world where people have also struggled to have democracies? And the main feature of a democracy is that the people have the power to elect their leaders. So, in a sense, a democracy is rule by the people. And the basic idea is that people, they rule themselves by participating in the making of these rules. So, in short, we can say children, democracy is of the people, by the people and for the people. Children, what are democratic governments in our times referred to? Democratic governments in our times, they are usually referred to as representative democracies. Children, what do you mean by representative democracies? In representative democracies, people do not participate directly, but instead choose their representatives through an election process. These representatives meet and make decisions for the entire population. Children, can you name two essential features of a democratic government? Two essential features of a democratic government are: first point, democracy is a rule by the people. It is people who rule themselves by participating in the making of these rules. Second point, in a democracy, people have the power to elect their leaders. These leaders or representatives meet and make decisions for the entire population. But children, these days a government cannot call itself democratic unless it allows what is known as universal adult franchise. Children, what do you mean by universal adult franchise? Universal adult franchise means that all adults in the country are allowed to vote. But this was not always like this. There was a time when the governments did not allow the women and the poor to vote. That means in their earliest forms, governments allowed only men who owned property and were educated to vote. This meant that women, the poor, the propertyless, and the uneducated, they were not allowed to vote. This means the country was governed by the rules and regulations that these few men made. Children, in India before independence, only a small minority was allowed to vote, and they therefore came together to determine the fate of the majority. And several people, including Gandhiji, were shocked at the unfairness of this practice and demanded that all adults have the right to vote. This is known as universal adult franchise. So children, what was the unfair practice according to Gandhiji? In India before independence, only a small minority was allowed to vote. This was the unfair practice according to Gandhiji. And what did Gandhiji demand? Gandhiji demanded that all adults, whether they being rich or poor, educated or illiterate, have the right to vote. And writing in the journal Young India in 1931, Gandhiji said, I cannot possibly bear the idea that a man who has got wealth should have the vote, but that a man who has got character but no wealth or literacy should have no vote, or that a man who works honestly by the sweat of his brow day in and day out should not have the vote for the crime of being a poor man. This means that the people who are rich and educated were only given the right to vote. So Gandhiji, he was against this. He wanted the people who had character but they were poor should be given a chance to vote. Now children, let's discuss. Gandhiji strongly believed that every adult in India should be given the right to vote. However, a few people don't share his views. They feel that illiterate people who are mainly poor should not be given the right to vote. What do you think? Do you think this would be a form of discrimination? Give 5 points to support your view. Yes, it would be a form of discrimination on the basis of education. 5 points to support my views are: these people will not be able to participate in the government and hence feel neglected from the society. People from all classes fought for the independence and these rights. Thus, everyone should be treated equally. People are not illiterate or poor by their choice. Every adult should be given right to vote according to universal adult franchise, and it will conflict the idea of right to equality of democracy. Now let us revise about suffrage movement. Children, there are other places in the world where people had to struggle to have democracies, and nowhere in the world have governments willingly shared their power. All over Europe and USA, women and the poor, they have had to fight for participation in government, and the women's struggle to vote, it got strengthened during the First World War, and this movement is called the women's suffrage movement, as the term suffrage usually means right to vote. What does the term suffrage mean? The term suffrage, it usually means right to vote. As during the war, many men, they were away fighting, and because of this, women were called upon to do the work that was earlier considered as men's work. And many women, they began organizing and managing different kinds of work. And when people saw this, they began to wonder why they had created so many unfair stereotypes about women and what they were capable of doing. So, women began to be seen as being equally capable of making decisions. So, the suffragettes demanded the right to vote for all women, and to get their demands heard, they chained themselves to railings in public places, and many suffragettes, they were imprisoned and went on hunger strikes, and they had to be fed by force. In this way, American women got the right to vote in 1920, while women in the UK got to vote on the same terms as men some years later, that is in 1928. Children, what was the suffrage movement and what did it accomplish? Suffrage means right to vote. Women and the poor have had to fight for participation in government all over Europe and USA. During the First World War, it got strengthened and known as the suffrage movement, and it gave right to vote to the American women in 1920, and women in the UK got to vote on the same terms as men in 1928. Now children, it's time for a quiz. Children, today let us do multiple choice questions. First one, when did UK women get voting rights equal to men? A. 1920, B. 1928, C. 1947, D. 1906. What's the correct answer? Yes, B. 1928. In the year 1928, UK women got voting rights equal to men. Second one, when did the publishing of journal Young India start? A. 1931, B. 1941, C. 1951, D. 1961. What's the correct answer, children? Correct. A. 1931. The publishing of journal Young India started in the year 1931. Third one, when was only a small minority allowed to vote? A. After independence, B. Before independence, C. 10 years before, D. 20 years before. What's the correct answer, children? Yes, B. Before independence. Before independence, only a small minority was allowed to vote. Now children, state whether the following statements are true or false. First one, in a democracy, the government has to explain its actions and defend its decisions to the people. A. True, B. False. What's the correct answer, children? Correct. A. True. Second one, the term suffrage means right to equality. A. True, B. False. What's the correct answer, children? Yes, B. False. Third one, the suffragettes demanded the right to vote for all women. A. True. B. False. What's the correct answer, children? Yes. A. True. Keep it up, children, those who have solved the quiz and got it correct. Children, today we have completed the revision of political science lesson number 3, what is government. So read the lesson thoroughly. Till then, goodbye, children.